Right, welcome to episode 67 of the MailleWerX Chainmail live streams. What is going on Facebook? Let's see here. What is this? Gotta do the share. Weird. Why won't it? Hey Barb, how you doing? I don't... See here, come on. All right, there we go. Hey Claire, how you doing? What's up, Josh? How's it going, guys? You guys didn't want to watch the Super Bowl anyway, right? You'd rather hang out with me. That's cool. Hey, Kat. Wow, everybody's jumping on quick. Sweet. All right, man. Oh man, what a day! What a day! How was everyone's day? Anybody watch the Super Bowl? It's still going on, right? What is that? Okay, I'll have to look at those later. I guess someone saw a chainmail tie on the Super Bowl and they thought it was mine, one of mine. I didn't sell any of those. I had some listed, but the mock-ups were terrible. Let's see what's Frank looking at right now. That's pretty good right there. You have no interest in the Super Bowl at all? If it doesn't involve armored combat, it isn't a sport in your book. All right. Nope, that's fair. That's fair. I have no desire to watch multimillionaires prance around a field trying to move a ball. It does nothing to further my needle. So, all right. Let's get some rings going here. You don't have the Super Bowl over there? If you guys have soccer, right? So, and Scotland like just won a big game or something? A big soccer game? How does that affect you at all, Claire? What's it like over there on the other side of the pond? Alright, so since it's Super Bowl day and we were working on a football themed chainmail inlay anyway, how appropriate is it that we work on this Raiders flag? My friend who loves his team will support the Raiders even if they're not in the Super Bowl. I don't watch football at all. You have random ideas on how to do a variation of Enthrall? Need to see if Josh is okay with it. And need to do a toot of Elrond's weave. That sounds cool. You think you're addicted? Do you drop off to sleep imagining weaves? Okay, so once upon a time, when I dreamed, I would have... Sorry, trying to shuffle stuff around here. I would have dreams about weaves when a problem came up and I couldn't figure out how to get something together. I would dream about how to solve it, right? And of course, how I solved it in my dream never worked, but it did. No, you have football, we have weird stuff. That's funny. Hey Sarah, how are you? So, it is totally a thing to have dreams about chainmail, especially when you make it a lot, right? Thanks for the like, Sarah. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. How good? I'm good. I'm good. Had a good day. Negotiated with the kid. I took away video games and TV for misbehaving every morning this past week. Trying to get him to go to school. And I finally got tired of him begging for... I got tired of him begging to have it all back, and so I told him, alright, for every book you read to me, right, you will get 1 day off your grounding. And so he read, he'd already had it, missed it, for 2 days, and he read 5 books, and that was the rest of the week. And he did really good. I was super proud of him. He went through Green Eggs and Ham almost by himself. You were debating whether you could do a dragon scale in the round weave or gridlock. Interesting. I look forward to what you come up with. That sounds neat. Good negotiation tactics? I thought so. It got him what he wanted, and I got some, I wouldn't say quiet, but I got some peace out of it. So, I think I went 1, 2. Alright, yeah, this is just straight down. So, I think we'll do that again in the future. Not every time, but you know. Your son likes reading, you're just running out of ways to take stuff off him. All he wants is his tablet and cuddly toys. Yeah. Nah, he's very incessant, my son. It's like, and I was like, it's Sunday, I don't want to sit here and fight with him about this all day. You know, let's figure something out. Tablet needs another new charger, so he can't have it anyway. My kid is 6. You would much rather watch me make chainmail than watch football? I am of the same opinion. Because my issue with the National Football League, right, is that they have all these stadiums, and the cities pay the property taxes on these stadiums, right? And I'm pretty sure that's pretty common in every major sport. What did I do here? I jumped a ring. Right, so you have a multi-million, billion-dollar industry, right? And you're riding on the backs of your fans to pay your property taxes for where you make all this money? No. Like, I'm not a fan of that business model. Personally. So, you know, plenty of people enjoy it. Plenty of people are huge nerds about it. Doesn't affect me one way or the other. So I don't try to ruin what people have fun at. I'm just not going to also participate. I didn't grow up watching football. So, or major sports of any kind, right? Like, there were like NASCAR kids that I went to school with. I didn't even know what NASCAR was. I've never sat down and watched a NASCAR race. Right? Growing up, I never watched a basketball game or a football game. Like, my parents were not into that at all. And thank God they weren't. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. I have a Packers shirt for when, you know, the neighbors are having a barbecue watching a game. And I'll go watch a game just to hang out with them and drink some beer. But you prefer being a chainmail nerd? Me too. More interesting and has more variety. If you want to check out a real sport, look up War of Nations. Is that the full-on combat? Where's my picture? I need a point of reference here. Like right here. Oh, every stream. Like, I've been down here all day. I haven't been sneezing at all. Once I get on camera. Sorry, Battle of Nations. You're a huge hockey fan when you were a little kid. Haven't watched for 50 years. Canadian football is so much different than American football. You like hockey, you're only interested when your home team is playing. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's Wisconsin. The only football I watched was with my childhood best friend. They were from Wisconsin. They are Packers fans. And so, you know, I'll throw on a Packers shirt and go to the neighbor's house. I got an inflatable cheese head as a gift while I was deployed to Iraq, from his mom, I think, and his aunt, so that I could represent while I was deployed. But, you know, I don't follow them. Only sport you do is LARP. All right. UK LARP is different to your Boffer LARP in the US? I would have no idea. 4v4 to 21v21 armored combat. I will have to check that out. That sounds awesome. Alright. So, let's see here. It is insane. I'll have to check it out. I do love me some good armored combat. I got this first coat of sealant on the leather portion of the wine bottle holster done today. I got a bunch of little, like, random stuff cleaned up, which is nice. And I went looking for some higher end findings for my necklaces and wallet chains and all that stuff. So hopefully next paycheck I'll be able to grab some of those. And makes you miss rent fairs in your EMP group. Yeah. What else? What else did we do today? I didn't find the dowel for Shamu. Okay. So I posted last night in the Chainmail group a picture of the whale mail piece, and there was a halibut steak in there because the whale mail was going into the oven. I thought it was funny. I think I hurt some people's feelings. Oh well. You can't win them all. You know? Okay. I wish that curved more, but we'll get there. I miss Ren Fair too. What is EMP? Josh has explained what it is before. And it's not electromagnetic pulse. I know that much. It was funny. I thought it was too. You wish you had Ren Fairs in the UK? Your Viking Festival isn't happening this year due to, I'm assuming you meant COVID. The corona? Yeah. I don't know how much they're shutting down here. I haven't been outside in months. I don't care anymore. Right. I don't go outside anyway. I feel bad for my kid because he's cooped up, right? But fortunately, he still goes to school. That hasn't been an issue. And it's just on the weekends he gets wound up and not a lot for him to do, unfortunately. Empire Medieval Pursuits. It is a medieval combat group. Bushcraft and survival stuff. Cool. Do you have like a youth program? Like, is it similar to, say, the Scouts? Because that would, a medieval scout program for future Ren Fair enthusiasts and LARPer fanatics. That'd be cool. You thought it was funny? You were jealous of that halibut steak? Yeah. I had halibut in the Space Needle in Seattle one time in their spinning dining room. That was pretty cool. It was really good. Not a big fish fan. Schools are closed. Your tour still going? Good, good. I'm just, you know. On the one hand, right, I don't like spending a ton of money for the property taxes of Mr. Ring again. I swear I've done this before. Maybe I'm just bad at this. So, in the age of the internet and the capability that we have today, right? I like people distance learning from home. I think that is a much more efficient way, cost-wise, to go about schooling children, as opposed to paying for these enormous buildings that you constantly have to what are those school referendums called? Well, I guess they're called school referendums, but bonds. School bonds. Alright. Man. Same ring. Is it the same ring? So, I think a lot of companies are going to shift towards people working from home. Some won't. But a lot will, because they don't feel like paying for spendy real estate in downtown areas. And I can't say that I blame them. You know, if you can get the same work done without paying $100,000 a month in rent or whatever it is. Kids can come and check it out. You don't allow them to do the combat for safety reasons? Well, yeah, I mean, I think that... But it would just be interesting if you had, like, a page system where, you know, kids could... Have a good night, Brian. You don't have that kind of stuff over here? Do you suck at doing homeschooling? Well, I don't think most people are homeschooling, right? They are distance learning. As to how effective it is, right, I guess we'll see. Okay, I am right here. Sorry, trying to figure out where I'm at. And like these companies, I think a lot of parents are gonna push to keep distance learning a thing for some students. Right? Just because it makes it easier for them to manage their family. And, you know, it's not one size fits all for everyone, but then neither is sending kids to school every morning. Hey, Chris, thanks, buddy. It's coming along. We're getting there. A lot of, long way to go. But I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out so far. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. You do train them if they want and allow the kids to get involved as much as possible. Okay. It is mostly the combat thing. They have to be a certain age. And I have all the gear to be protected. Which, I mean, that makes sense. Most parents want kids in school because then they don't have to watch them and ensure they're doing it. Hard to work with the kids at home. Well, like I said, I think it's different for everybody, right? And like the businesses that a lot of businesses are going to shift to people working from home permanently. And I think a lot of families are going to want to keep the distance learning thing going. We will see what the future holds. I just don't want to pay property taxes for it all. They raised my property taxes again this year. So I'm not thrilled. I don't think that ring can go there. Well, maybe. Maybe that was the right way to do it. Hard to work with the kids at home? No, unfortunately your job requires schools to be in attendance. Are you a teacher? Or do you, I mean, like a school administrator or something? Both your kids hate the distance learning? They want to be back in school? Yeah. I would much rather be at home than ever be in school again. Me personally. I'm sure my kid likes going to school, so we'll see how he does. I went to like a private religious school for many years, and then I went to public school for about 5th grade onwards, and after I learned how to read, I just never saw the utility in going to school anymore. When I was learning something I was interested in, I ended up having to change schools, and the classes that I was in, like shop and welding and all that useful stuff, were full when I changed schools. So there wasn't like any purpose to me going anymore, right? Once I hit my junior year. It's like I sang in choir, which was fun. I'm obviously not a professional singer. So there was just no utility in it for me after that. All right, I have a black line I need to be continuing somewhere. See, okay, so all this line right here needs to be moved over one, I think, yeah. That's too close to the edge. But I think we've got our, let's move this out a little bit. I think we've got our you know, the top of the helmet portion figured out until we get to the part that bumps out down here somewhere. So we'll move this line real quick and then proceed onward. You never liked school that much? You'd rather learn where you wanted to be force-fed? Information you have no practical use for. Yeah. I mean, I'm a great autodidact. So that's not, and I'm sure a lot of people have this problem, but like, I'm not the type of person that can be taught. I have to go and learn something. So there is no utility for me in sitting in a classroom. I have to go and do it, right? Alright, if you also ever see this in person, you know, don't judge my closures. These are not the greatest example of quality chainmail work. Math is useful for chainmail. Yeah, but I mean, I have an app for that. Just plug the numbers into the aspect ratio calculator and you're good to go. And that's not at all my strong suit. I know people come up with mathematical equations to figure out how many like numbers of rings are in a weave or something. There was a big one recently that whoever made the post, I forget who it was, like wrote a book about it, and then other people who are also into the math wrote books in response, and it was all well over my head. So you're best doing something learning to learn it, but that doing can be maths on paper. Judges all your closures at length. Yeah, same there. You're a hands-on learner. Yeah, like there were aspects to school that I found interesting. Like I had an awesome art history teacher, but that did not pertain to my degree in nursing at all. It was kind of a dick off class. Nice to have, but I didn't need to pay, $3,000 for that credit hour. Well, I didn't pay for it anyway, the VA paid. You can't learn from a book. I can learn from a book if I want to learn about something, but I have to go find the source myself. Mutters about Americans calling it math rather than maths. Gotta pull the ribs out of the oven. My son asked me today, he says, "Daddy, your heart is in your rib case, right?" I'm like, "Your rib case? Is that like your suitcase?" "No," after he thinks about it for a second. Like, "Oh, you mean your rib cage." It was funny. Oh man. I tried to cook tonight. I had one of those prepackaged sauces from like Betty Crocker or something. Campbell's slow cookers or whatnot. And some frozen chicken. And I tried to de-thaw the chicken. I didn't get it in out of the freezer early enough, right? That would have helped. So I was trying to make sweet and sour chicken, and you're supposed to fry the chicken according to the instructions, right? But my chicken was frozen to begin with, so I got it thawed as best I could, and then I fried it, right, as per the recipe. But it was frozen chicken, so frying it clearly wasn't going to cook it all the way through. So then I had to pour the sauce over the top of the chicken and bake it. And it worked in the end. But then it turns out I didn't have enough sauce. So, yeah. You have a 6-year-old you're explaining complicated physics to? That was interesting, I'll bet. If you got a 6-year-old that can understand complicated physics, good on you. That's awesome. I'm old and I don't understand complicated physics, so. It's like it bears no relevance on my life, so I don't I took like physics 1 and 2, but because it was in a classroom, I lacked application in the real world, and so learned the formulas enough to pass the class and then brain dumped it. Jettisoned it out the old memory tube. He wants to understand the physics. You're not sure that's the same that he does? Yeah. Yeah, a little more brain development. And he'll get it. My son, he knows Fortnite really well. I get told all the time, Dad, I'm not a noob at Fortnite. Say, really? Why do you die all the time then? It's funny because he gets really worked up when he dies. And it's like, dude, just try again. You know, it's a video game. You got endless lives. He's slowly starting to get that concept that he can just go and do it again. It's like when the controllers start getting thrown, it's like, you know, yeah, you're done playing video games, pal. So I need that controller to work for a long time. Because when it breaks, I'm not buying a new one. He's got way too many video games. He has a Switch, and he got Mario Odyssey for Christmas. Not this year, last year. And by this time last year, so 6 to 8 weeks or something like that, he'd gone through and beaten Mario Odyssey. So, alright, Claire, have a good night. So he's definitely smart. It's just that he'd rather play video games than practice reading or spelling, which I can't say that I blame him, you know. It's just working through the fact that he's ridiculously spoiled and has everything that he wants, and trying to get him to realize that it's going to take some self-discipline to get anywhere in life. But I think he'll be okay. We'll get there. Man. Come on, come here. There we go. I need another day off. I'm not ready for the week. I don't want the week to start. Alright, Chris, have a good night. Yeah, 4:30 comes early. It certainly does. I don't miss those days. Like, I'm up at 6. I start work at 8. Job before this, I was up at 4:30 and I started at 6 o'clock. You know, now I get done. Typically, I'm home around 1 or 2, just in time to drop my stuff off, maybe grab some lunch, and then run to go pick up the kid. So, and then I do my charting after I get home, so it's nice. I don't have. Let's see here. How we looking here? Where are we at? Where's the camera? Yeah, I like that curve. I think it's looking good. I'm gonna figure out where. Oh, I need to move this ring here. Man. Oh yeah, you got to get up at 4:32. What time zone are you in, Sarah? That makes a difference too. I know I start to show at 9 Central, and I know a lot of people probably miss out on it simply because of the fact that it starts late in their time zone. You know? I get it. Central? Okay, same as me, yeah. Man, you're staying up late. I'd have to be in bed already. I'm old though. Alright. I think when we move back over to this other side here. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, where are we at? One straight down. Ow. So another coat on the leather. Probably do that tonight before I head back upstairs. So let's try for tomorrow, and then I can assemble tomorrow. You're in Central too. Early Monday afternoon in Australia. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Alright Barb, have a good night. Your Pacific time, so starting at 2, it's already 5. Yeah, I can't do 2 o'clock. Generally. Like I could on the weekends. The primary reason I don't start until 9 is because that is after my kid is in bed. All the stuff is done upstairs. Like, I gotta get the dogs some water before I go to bed, but everything else is done. You know, by 9 o'clock, and I can come down here and work undisturbed. And then when I get back upstairs, there's nothing left for me to do. All my chores are done by this time, so. All right. And usually I have like all my charting done. Very rarely will I go back upstairs and do any more charting for the night. So, because it's nice because I go and I drive around and I'm usually home by 1 or 2. So my out of home time, you know, is just a few hours. Game just finished, so you're popping to say hi. Hi, Tara. You can only because mail is your full-time job and both your kids are teenagers. Yeah. Yeah, I still got to be a parent involved in my kid's life, you know, as he runs around, you know, upstairs. He still needs parental oversight. So the game's over, huh? What the hell was I saying? Oh, so I'm not out of the house for very long. Right, I leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, drop my kid off at school, and then I'm driving around seeing people until about 1 or 2. Right, and then my charting after I get home can be done, like any time in the next week, but I try to get it done all day. I try to get everything done that day because, you know, there's no reason for it to be hanging over my head all week. So then I cook dinner, put the kid in bed, right? Do anything else that needs to be done around the house, and then come down here about 8:30, 8:45 to get everything ready for all you wonderful people. Oh, you know what? I made a sale today off of our Etsy store, which is awesome because I haven't even done any work to the search words, the search word optimization. I was hoping to get to that this weekend, but that's a big negative, Ghost Rider. So I will try to get to that later. Sooner rather than later. You're still involved. The kids have their own interests and manage themselves most days. Right, I mean, they're teenagers, so, you know, once they're that age, they're pretty much independent. My kid this morning, he got up before me or Renee. Okay, so he gets up. Yesterday he had gotten himself an apple and cut it up with a knife, and it's like, okay, buddy, you need to slow down. You know, you're growing up a little too fast here. If you're using a knife, you have to have an adult nearby. This morning he gets up and he gets the scissors out and cuts open a donut one of our friends had brought over from yesterday. And he had chocolate all over his face, so I had to have him clean that up. Then I go in the bathroom, and there's like brown goo around the faucet knob, right? And I'm like, what is this? You know, is it poop? So I had to get my kid in there, and have him explain to me how he had gotten a donut and gotten frosting all over the faucet head. I was like, okay, thank God it's just frosting. Faith, I will continue to be on Twitch. I am mainly on Facebook, and I stream to all 3 platforms simultaneously to make it easier for me to, so I don't have to download the videos from Facebook and then re-upload them to YouTube. I hope that makes sense. I got someone on Twitch watching. How are you tonight? Thanks for joining us. Not a lot of action over there. I keep meaning to do Twitch only streams, so that after a stream I can go and raid a couple other people's streams who I enjoy. You know, to show some love and support, but I have not had a chance to set that up yet. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. You know, it's only been 60 streams. Maybe by 100 or so, we'll finally have a Twitch only stream. From the faucet? No, it was a brown goo around the faucet, and it turned out to be frosting, and I was concerned that it was not frosting. Got her slice a loaf of fresh bread by herself at 2. Oh, yeah, you and your wife both nearly died. I'll bet. I mean, you know, Colton's very independent from a very early age. Couldn't reach something, he'd just grab the chair and go over and climb up on the counter. Gonna spread the word that I'm on Twitch. Well, thank you, Faith. I appreciate it. Kids learning medieval combat techniques and have their own wooden sword and shield. Sweet. All children should have swords and shields. Right? I always wanted a sword and shield growing up. My 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Warwick, had the Redwall series by Brian Jakes in her little library at school. She had like a bookshelf that we school children could take home. And this was shortly after I had changed schools. So I ended up, I didn't know anybody, you know, very well. Like, I went from a very small private religious school to a very small rural school. I think they had like 200 people in their graduating class. And so there weren't many kids there, and they'd all, you know, lived there for forever and learned how to reuse them properly. Absolutely. The what do you call it? So I mean, I moved out there and I didn't know anybody, right? For forever. I hadn't grown up with them. I didn't make friends well as a kid. That's here. We can just go straight down from here for now. If we need to shape it out later, we will, but the important thing is getting the bulk of the rings done. Do I always do inlays? No. This is a wine bottle holster that I did. It's got space for leather straps to go around the bottle, and then it attaches to a another leather piece that goes to connect to a belt. I did a water bottle wrap and another inlay, and sometimes we just work on random stuff. This is a very old inlay, and I am trying to get through all of the projects that have been sitting around for way too long. So I started streaming to hold myself accountable to something so that I was doing chainmail on a daily basis and using up all the rings that I had bought with no purpose, and, you know, be more involved in the chainmail community. So if I can help someone get started, if I can pass off to someone that you can make this stuff by hand, if I can teach someone something they didn't know before, then we have done our purpose here. So I've only done a couple of inlays. Most of them, despite, you know, not being a football fan, all my friends were football fans, right? So I've done a Green Bay flag, a Texas Longhorns flag. This Raiders one I'm working on is one of the larger inlays I've attempted. And I have one more large inlay that got started, and I got a long way into it, and then all of a sudden I realized that none of the colors were matching up properly, and that, you know, put the kibosh on. In the beading world, you call the stuff sitting around you unfinished objects, UFOs. Nice. I have a lot of those. And I have some stuff that's been done, but I'm revamping it. I got a lot of belts over there that I don't... They work okay, like they're functional. You can wear them all day long. I just want to make them a little bit better. So I got started on this inlay and got to some parts on it that were very troublesome for me. And I couldn't get past it and couldn't get past it, and then it just never got worked on for years and years and years. And this was supposed to be a gift for a buddy of mine like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So that's really the only reason we're working on it right now. If I keep doing this every night, I should have everything done by the end of the year. And at that point, we'll make new plans for different projects. And I might do another inlay then. I don't know. So we'll see. I have the rings for a dream catcher project that I want to work on. They are in line to be tumbled and clean, and then that may be one of the projects we get done on here. Same in the crochet world. It's unfinished objects. That's funny. Come here. Go in the hole. I saw someone, I forget who posted it. Someone posted, chainmail is just a bunch of holes. The hard part is surrounding those holes with rings. Oh man, why did my nose itch? The hard part is just surrounding those holes with rings, yeah. Oh, and Faith, if you're still watching, all the images to... Here. Come here, come here. Right there. Okay, all these flashing images right here, those are all chainmail themed designed apparel and accessories that I have available on my store. So that is also another reason why I'm here doing this, is to also sell stuff. So to get word, to finish up projects down here, to pass on my knowledge of chainmail to other people, and then also to sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories. Apparently I can't talk, so used to knit but wasn't great at that. Much better at crochet, so chainmail, skate mail, and basic leather work. The crazy craft lady. Nice. I do basic leather work too. Oh, and nail bind and do some inkle loom weaving. The inkle loom weaving, is that the thing that I had to go... Did you send me a link to your Instagram or something about that? I vaguely remember that. Then just do random stuff that probably doesn't fit into any particular subsect of crafting. You know. Mixed media. God, I want to be rich so bad so that one day I can just sit around in a workshop with a bunch of people who are highly skilled in their craft, right? And work on like epic projects with them. Like real treasures, you know? I think that would be so cool. And then also just have like every tool available known to man. I was looking at laser cutters the other day. What did I want it for? Like I don't need one, right? I just want to have one. What is the picture on this inlay? Or let me back up the camera here a little bit. This is the Raiders flag. That we're working on. You've only made one thing in your Inkle Loom so far? You don't think that was what you sent me a link for? I don't remember what it was either. You're currently sewing some medieval hose. Nice. You're gonna Inkle weave some garters. Tie them below the knees to keep them from falling down. Very nice. You see it? Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. It's a work in progress. It might actually be finished one day. It is ending up a lot larger than I thought it would, so. We actually might end up having to order rings for this one. Because I have sworn off buying any new rings until I have all this stuff done, unless it is to complete a project. So, is that a goatee on his chin? No. Nope, just the black part underneath his chin. It'll look more normal once I have more black under there. Hey Bobby, how you doing? Alright. Couple more spots here. And I think we will have got the helmet where we want it. The top part, and then we can move on to the sides. Getting the face done on this really made it so that, you know, we can adjust everything else. Oh, I probably didn't need to take that one out. You know, and make it work. It was really getting that face done that started moving this project forward. What do I do with these inlays? I'm gonna give it away to a friend of mine. I told him I would make them a Raiders flag 15 years ago or so, and it has been sitting in a container for that long, not getting done. So, but my whale mail piece, when I did finish last night, if you were watching last night, you saw me take the straps of the whale mail piece off and then put them back on so we could add some rows to the top of the whale mail piece. I put the straps on backwards, so I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep that one, and then I'll give this one away, and then the next one I'm gonna do is gonna hang down here somewhere in the basement. The other very large inlay that I got like over halfway through on and then stopped because I got to a point. I think I had posted the University of Michigan flag I did for another friend of mine. And I had not noticed, but there were severe color differences in the gold rings. Right. So much so that it was like, once someone had pointed it out to me, it was super noticeable, right? And so I ended up buying a bunch more green and gold rings, and each time I got a different shade of green and gold, right? And I let that stop me from getting that project done for many, many years, right? And now I'm just like, you know what? It's better to have a completed project, even if the shade of the rings isn't right, you know? So, it'll look like, it won't look the best. But that's one thing I've learned is that you gotta get all the anodized rings from like the same batch. Alright, I'm gonna call this helmet pretty much, this part from here up, pretty much widened out as far as it needs to go. Right, we've got some work to do over here and over here. Let's see here. Nope. Sorry, didn't mean to smack the camera. So like this is the right place to start this line, but I gotta make it curve out some more. We're gonna have to figure that out. Where does it end? Okay. Alright. As with everything, we will continue to work on it until it looks good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we should make it resemble mostly a Raiders flag. You know? It should somewhat look like that. So, let's see here. Oh, he's looking good. I like it. I like it a lot. And put my rings back in my high quality storage containers here. All right. All right. Okay. Get everything put away. Got some paperwork here I got to take care of. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. Okay. I'll pack this stuff up for tonight. As always, check out MailleWerX.com for all your apparel and accessory all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. Okay. And yeah, we will have a good night, Sarah. Have a good night, everyone. If I'm not on tomorrow night, the next night, it'll be the latest Tuesday. All right. Everybody, have a good start to your week tomorrow. I will talk to you all